Welcome to iSpa Talk, where we educate, empower, and encourage women to practice safe beauty habits, starting with their eyes and skin. I help you connect the dots between beauty and science. Some say your eyes and skin say more about you before you open your mouth. My name is Dr. Janelle O.D. I'm your host and the CEO and founder of Brilliant Eyes Vision Center and Premier Dry Eye Spa. Thank you for tuning in. Let's chat. Hey, happy Sunday. Welcome to the last day of February. We have zoomed past this month and we're going into the last month of quarter one. So all you business owners out there, your entrepreneurs, you know the importance of quarters. And so whatever goals you're working on in quarter one, you better get to it because we're coming to a close. But my name is Dr. Janelle. I am the Dry Eye Mentor. I'm your host today. I'm an optometrist with a passion for dry eye disease and optometry aesthetics. I'm trained on the latest technology to help you determine the root cause of your ocular discomfort, and I help you get on the road to younger, clearer, wider eyes. And I'm hosting today. One of my favorite things that I do a couple times a month is iSpa Talk. We're going to have a great round table talk discussion today about eye and beauty. But iSpa Talk, the purpose of the show is to help you connect the dots between beauty and science. As a dry eye specialist in ocular aesthetics, it's important to know how to look good, but not to make sure that, and also make sure that you're not causing any potential harm to your eyes and the tissue and the skin around your eyes. And so today we have two special guests with us. We have Desiree and Samantha. But before we let them introduce themselves, we want you to do a couple of things. We want you to go ahead and share this broadcast. We're going to get some great information today. So any family members and friends that follow you on social media, on Facebook, you don't want them to miss out. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. And I will do my best to pay attention and answer your questions. And then also midway through the program, we're going to have a prize wheel. And we're going to see if you can win some prizes today. And we'll tell you how you're able to enter the drawing. And so as you join the show, go ahead and type in the comments and let me know you're here. But first, we're going to let Desiree introduce herself. She's one of our special guests and she's joined us in the past. But now we have a new product that's out that I've been using myself and that we also dispense in my practice. And I want you to tell you more about the product. So Desiree, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and tell my listeners who you are and about the product Oculair.
Hello, my name is Desiree Saputo, and I work with Oculair Skincare, which is a skincare line that's designed for anti-aging, but it's also designed for patients who have ocular surface disease, ocular allergies, or suffer from dry eye disease. So it's meant specifically to address anti-aging without exacerbating dry eye symptoms.
Awesome. So Sam, my listeners should know who you are as well, but I still want you to go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi guys, I am Samantha. I am the lead esthetician at Premier Dry Eye Spa inside of Brilliant Eyes Vision Center. I've been an esthetician for about 6 years, and I just recently obtained my instructor license. So now I do instruct at Paul Mitchell Institute. Our new estheticians that are coming on board, and I'm really excited to go today with you guys.
I'm excited to have both you guys here today.
So I usually, yes.
Okay, go ahead. It's a little slight delay.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So I offer some great facial services at Premier Dry Eye Spa with eyelash extensions. I also do brow services, brow tinting, lash tinting, lash lifting. So a couple of beauty services that I do offer at the Premier Dry Eye Spa.
Awesome. And she offers phenomenal services. If you follow me on social media, you would notice that about last week or maybe a week and a half ago, I finally did some self-care for myself. I'm like, I have a spa in my office. Why don't I do self-care more often? So I went and had a fabulous facial on a Wednesday evening. It was awesome. And it also helping my skin get to the level that I want it to be. We're going to talk about a little bit today. But we're going to back up because you're probably thinking, okay, what is dry eye, ocular surface disease and, facial care and anti-aging? What do they all, how do they all connect? Well, as a dry eye specialist, we know that there are certain things that can cause or exacerbate conditions that you may already have, like ocular surface disease, Meibomian gland dysfunctions, ocular allergies. We don't think about it, but a lot of times we know that we want to wash our faces, we want to moisturize our faces, and we want to do things to help with anti-aging. But a lot of times we don't understand those ingredients that are so-called supposed to make things that better around our face. That tissue, that skin and tissue around our eyes can be disrupted. And if we use those things regularly, it can catapult us to dry eye disease, or it can cause meibomian gland dysfunction. Meibomian gland dysfunction. And so MGD, you'll hear me say that back and forth, but it stands for Meibomian gland dysfunction. And so those are the special glands that are housed in your lids, your top and bottom lids. And those glands help to produce the oils that are needed to keep your eyes hydrated. So this is an analogy I always tell my patients, that you have a gland that makes water. So you have your lacrimal gland that makes the tears, the water. But then you have the glands in your lid, the Meibomian glands, that make the oil. And they're supposed to mix together and make a film. And I call that film your eyeball lotion, right? So depending on how thick and healthy that film, the more it's going to be likely to keep your eyes hydrated. So I use the analogy in the winter times, if that lotion or that film you have is very thin, by the time you get to the door, your skin is going to be dry and ashy, or even worse by the time you get home. So the same thing about your eyes. If that tear film is not as thick and healthy as we want it to be, then it's going to be very hard for your eyes to stay hydrated. And a lot of times, unbeknownst to patients, a lot of things that you're doing throughout the day, facial washes, toners, makeup, liners, extensions, all those things can cause potential structural damage, which is going to exacerbate dry eye, ocular allergies, and other ocular surface diseases. So it's important when we're doing those things to know how we can minimize that. And so that's why I've partnered with Oculair and Desiree. And she'll talk a little bit more about how Oculair got started, who's the founder, and what makes it so special. If you're an optometrist and you're listening to this broadcast today, you definitely want to tune in, because this is something that you want to know about and be able to offer your patients, because it's going to give them the skincare and anti-aging products that they want, but you can feel comfortable that they're not exacerbating any current situations that are on the front part of their eye, because everything is natural. And so let's start with Desiree. Let's talk about Oculair, how Oculair came to be, a little bit about the founder, and we'll go into some of the different products.
So Oculair is a sister company of Alarive, which I think we talked about the last time I visited. So Alarive, I'll go ahead and explain what Alarive is. Alarive and Oculair were created and founded by the same oculoplastic surgeon, Dr. Howard J. Loff. But we do have a host of physicians on our medical advisory boards that we rely on for feedback, and they help us with these formulations as well. Alarive is a proprietary blend that was created for a topical eye drop. We are looking to release Alarive as an eye drop sometime in Q2, maybe the beginning of Q3. Coronavirus has really set us back on being able to get all of the paperwork and things for an eye drop done. So we were able to get Oculair out first because it's a skincare item, but Alarive is a topical drop, and I like to call it the new antihistamine, because it doesn't have any antihistamines in it, which we know as eye care providers that antihistamines can exacerbate the dry eye symptoms or ocular allergy symptoms. So Alarive can actually address ocular allergies without causing patients to have dry eye symptoms or worsen dry eye symptoms if they already have them. And then, I'm sorry, go ahead. I think there's a little bit.
That's good. That's important. People that are tuning in, it's important to know that what you're using to wash your face with at night or any anti-aging products are not going to exacerbate any conditions that you already have. And so she's going to let her finish, and then we'll talk about some of the product ingredients.
Sure. And so Oculair is something that we created with the thought in mind that eye care providers are doing all kinds of things to help address anti-aging, and doctors like Dr. Davison, who are at the forefront of fine-tuning and being on the cutting edge of science and adding those things that patients want, as far as aesthetics go into their practice, need to have something that are also going to cater to some of the symptoms they are coming to her office for, like dry eye or ocular surface disease. So Oculair was created. It is fortified or blended with or enhanced with Alarive. Everything in Oculair is all natural, but the added benefit of the Alarive blend allows us to apply skincare creams, eyelash serums, eye wash, face wash around the eye without causing any issues, and actually addressing those issues, which I think is super important.
Yeah, so that's like a 2-for-1. You're getting your anti-aging, you're moisturizing, getting your skin on the level that you want. But in some cases, you are helping certain conditions that you have on the ocular surface. Being here in Georgia, we're in Georgia, you're in Florida.
Yeah.
Allergy season has already started.
Pollen is here.
It's here. It's crazy. I was out last Sunday out for a baseball game that night. Because I don't get the eye part. I get all the nasal and the post-nasal drip. And I have patients coming in this week complaining that their eyes are itchy and irritated. And a lot of my dry eye patients are flared up. And so, patients go over the counter and start doing different things. So it's important to know what creams they're using, because their face may be getting dry now, going into these different seasons. Your skin kind of does something weird. And they're going over the counter and doing all these things and don't know that they're potentially exacerbating some issues that they have on the front surface. And so we want to talk about, so I have some of the products here, and I tell you guys that I use the products. I've been using it consistently now for a month. The products are awesome. One of the regimen products that I don't have right here in front of me is the Pearl, which is our omega-7. I have that downstairs, so I remember to take it every day. Yep, she has it. And all the packaging is beautiful. Before I pick up the bottles, I'm going to have Desiree show the boxes, because all the boxes are going to have the ingredients. And so we'll talk about some of our favorites, and I've already given her a heads up on what some of my favorites are. I think let's get the first box here. So we talk about some of the ingredients that are in there.
Sure. Do you want to start with a particular one, or is it?
What do you have? Whatever you have in front of you. Let's get started.
Okay, so the one I have at the top of the stack is the mask, which is our green tea mask.
Yes, which I love.
Yes, so this is the box for the green tea mask. I love the Oculair line because all of the packaging is super high end. So for an eye care professional, this is something beautiful that you can put into your practice.
And what I like about this too is it helps you, when you get it out, you have this the
little spatula.
To be able to get it out and just get what you need. And I love this green tea mask. And so let's talk about some of the ingredients in there and what makes that mask good.
Sure. So first off, all of the Oculair products are infused with Alarive, and you can see that on every box. They have an Alarive stamp. So Alarive is the antihistamine. We put that in all of the products because these are meant to go on the skin around the eyes so that we could address ocular allergies, ocular surface disease, rosacea, a myriad of symptoms that come along with allergy season or just everyday life when you're a ocular surface disease patient. Some of the ingredients in the mask, aside from Alarive, is obviously the green tea extract, which is great for UV protection, DNA repair, as well as the anti-aging aspect. The other key ingredient in that is the colloidal oatmeal, which is awesome for, let's say, skin trauma. So it's going to address any trauma or breakouts, lesions on the skin.
And so just to chime in there, just listen to those ingredients, and I'll let Sam verify or not. She's the specialist in that area. Anytime I'm hearing about oatmeal, green tea extract, all those things are be really good for people that have sensitive skin as well. A lot of times people that have sensitive skin, they want to do things, but they're scared, that they're not going to exacerbate issues that they already have on the front of their eye, on their face. And so hearing a lot of those ingredients are important for people who are suffering from sensitive skin. So Sam, do you want to chime in there?
Absolutely. And it's also really good for people suffering with acne, acne breakouts. It helps soothe the skin. I know colloidal oatmeal is a really great ingredient for that, as well as green tea. I use a really great cleanser with green tea and lemon in it, and it really helps soothe my skin and alleviate breakouts. I actually haven't had any really big breakouts ever since I started using those type of ingredients. So yeah, those are some really great ingredients I enjoy using, as well as really good ingredients for sensitive skin as well.
Good. And sensitive skin is important. I have sensitive skin too. And so I know a lot of patients who you want to try things, who want to get facials, but a lot of times they're scared to cause potential flare-ups. So it's good to know everything in our spot that we use is natural as well, but that we can give you some recommendations on things that you can use at home that won't potentially cause any flare-ups, but at the same time are providing some positive outcomes for current issues that you have with your eye, your front surface of your eye. And so we'll go to the next product. You got to unmute yourself, Desiree.
Sorry.
It's okay.
The next product is our Loon, which is our nighttime cream. And if you're wondering about the names of our products, like you see that mask is spelled a little strange. So this is the French version of mask. So the idea was to make Oculaire emulate like a French skincare line, which is why it's called Oculaire, which means ocular in French. Loon is our nighttime cream. All of our nighttime products, instead of having the O for Oculaire, have a half moon, so that patients know or doctors know when they pick this up, this is for intended for nighttime use, whatever your nighttime hours are. So again, Alarive is infused in this product. The most active ingredients in this product that we really hone in on, aside from Alarive, is the pycnogenol, which also provides UV protection. It prevents photo aging, which in this day and age, everyone is on a device. So photo aging is super important. It's something that we deal with every day, which also causes dry eye symptoms as well. And it improves hydration and elasticity of the skin. Pycnogenol is a really cool ingredient. It's actually derived from the pine bark of a tree that only grows on the east coast of France. So we have this imported in from France, which kind of is why we went the French direction with the verbiage and the lingo of Oculaire. The other ingredient in Oculaire, which gives it its color, it's a very vibrant purple. Bilberry extract is in that, and that is awesome for tightening the skin and cleansing the skin of bacteria and toxins.
These ingredients are just fabulous. A lot of these ingredients patients are using in other aspects as well. I use the pycnogenol for glaucoma support, which is another product that I dispense out of my office, out of your guys' pharmacy as well. Pycnogenol has a lot of benefits for multiple things within the body. I do want to address a question that we have here. A patient says that we keep saying anti-aging, but what about someone who's already aging, 65 plus? You know, I said it's never too late to get started, but I'll let both of you guys kind of chime in for those individuals that have already started the aging process. What should they do, or is it too late?
So in respect to Oculaire, and then Sam can go chime in. In respect to Oculaire, a lot of our ingredients are actually really great for patients who might already have fine lines and wrinkles. You know, I know everyone is a victim of getting bags under their eyes, or but some women who are 65 plus may feel like that fits who they are in the morning every day than someone who might be 35 and under. But we do have products for patients who are 65 plus. We do have a skincare, a eye care cream that was formulated specifically for women over 55, and that is called Lux, Lux.
I've been using everything.
Yeah, so I actually use that too.
Hey, I'm gonna double it, make sure.
I use that too. When we formulated Oculaire, we didn't have the eye care cream because we had the day cream, the night cream, and we were like, oh, these are formulated for use around the eyes. We don't need an eye care cream. And then we kind of thought about it and we're like, you know what? I think women over the age of 55 would really appreciate something that's made specifically for some of the issues that they're having with their skin. So the Lux includes like peptides, plus all of the things I mentioned for Loon. And it's really great for around your eyes, but I use it all over my skin, to be honest.
I have a question. So, I use this at night. And so I have another eye serum as well that I think I brought with me. But what's like the order of sequence? And so if you put this on, does this mainly go around your face, the Loon, and this specifically goes around your eye at night or in the morning?
Yeah, so if you're a patient or a customer who wants to use both products, I feel like I tend to use one or the other, but someone may want to use both. And if they do, they should do the eye cream first and then take the Loon and use that all over to lock it in.
Okay, so yep, you will do the Lux first around the eyes, and then you'll use the Loon around the entire face to lock everything in. And then
I'm sorry, I just want to chime in and say, like, you could see that Dr. Davison is holding up these jars and they have this little white guy, the little white
Mhm.
little button on top. So those are to keep the product as fresh as possible, because when you open something and a cream is exposed, it starts to oxidize. So we did this to make sure there was pressure in the bottle, airless, so that it never oxidizes. So it's as fresh as possible.
And it helps control how much you get out. So you just do like one little pump and just enough comes out, because I'm guilty of just
Oh, me too.
gathering it. And so this allows you just to get exactly what you need to put around your face. So therefore your product lasts the intended time frame, at least the 30 days, and some just plus or minus a little bit more. And so Sam, yes, chime in as well about patients who are 65 and older, or patients who may be going through a lot of skin changes, who have maybe come off of chemotherapy, radiation. Are these products safe for those individuals as well? And any recommendations for those patients, Sam, to kind of get their face and skin back to the levels that they were prior to treatment?
Absolutely. Like you said, Janelle, it's never too late to start, but the key word is start today. So ensure that you're putting in products that give towards those fine lines, firming the skin. I also look to treatments or skincare regimens that hone in on firming, hone in on collagen production, hone in on decreasing those fine wrinkles. So all of the ingredients that are great for that, some of those great products that you guys are showing them are amazing. Like, I'm just astounded by ingredients. Those are the ingredients that I'm constantly looking at today and looking for products that have them. Those are really great to start using. And then just incorporating facial treatments that's going to hone in on firming and tightening the skin. So it's never too late to start, as long as you just start today.
Yeah, I like that. Start today. And it's never too late. Just like with anything, just got to start somewhere and be consistent. I'm guilty of starting and not being consistent, but if you want to see the results, you have to be consistent. And so, same thing when we do our dry eye treatment programs. I say there's things that I have to do, but there's things that I need you to do. And when we work together, we get those positive outcomes in the time frame that we expect. And I can say I've been using the product consistently every night for the last 30 days. And within a few days, I noticed that my skin was doing better. I get breakouts anyway. I have adult acne, hormonal, but I was just having a huge flare up, especially where my mask is. And so I went almost a whole year wearing a mask and never had a problem. Then all of a sudden, I mean, it was just like an assault on my chin line. And so everything I tried, I was taking oral medications, going to the dermatologist. She's giving me all these products. But as I'm learning and diving more into ocular surface disease, Meibomian gland dysfunction, I'm like, all the stuff that she's giving me, I'm potentially exacerbating dry eye that I already have. And so this product came out. I got the whole regimen, and I said, I'm going to stop all that stuff. I'm going to drink my water, number one, because I was dehydrated. And then I'm going to start my products. And then also I've been doing my omega-7s, which are part of the regimen as well. And so she showed the pearl bottle earlier. So not only do everything look so beautiful, so when I'm doing my routine at night, I feel like a princess, but at the same time, I'm getting the results that I want. Yes. And those pills are easy to swallow. I have omega-3 and 7 pills that I recommend for patients. And they're tougher to get down, but those are so tiny. You can easily get those down easily. And so it makes it easier for me to make sure I take those regularly. And so I don't want to miss out on any other products. I want to keep going. I know we have a few other products that we want to get through. So what do you have next there, Desiree? I think you got to unmute yourself. There we go.
Okay, so next is the massage, which I think we kept this one in line at the perfect moment because you mentioned acne, which we refer to acne from the mask. So I use this every night because I also have adult acne, and I've got some really good foundation, so you can't see it right now, but I have adult acne. I've suffered from it all the time, and the mask does not help. I routinely get acne from where the mask covers my face. So at night I come home and I use our massage, which has what we refer to as needles, but it's the granules that are in the paste. It's also infused with the Aloe blend, and it also has colloidal oatmeal in it as well. So it's going to nourish, repair the skin. One of the other ingredients is the sunflower seed oil, which is highly absorbent and moisture retaining. So as it strips away all that harmful bacteria that is there from wearing the mask, it replaces the good oils. Like Dr. Davison mentioned at the start of the conversation, that when your skin is suffering from not having enough oils, it produces even more oil and causes more issues with acne. So we're able to strip away the bacteria, but replace the moisture that your skin needs to not break out from not being hydrated enough.
Yeah, and I learned that when I went to get my facial last week. And I was, before I sat down, Sam automatically said, "Oh, your skin looks good." And I'm like, "Really?" Because I'm like, I just started using this product and I'm coming to you to help it make it look even better. And I said I was having these huge breakouts and they're starting to get better. And I was like, I don't know what was causing it. And parts of my face were dry, like my forehead area was dry, but here it was like overproducing oil, and I can like see it. And I have this one thing I used to help to go get the excess oil out of my pores, and I could just see it coming out. And so Sam was like, "Well, yeah, sometimes you have to fight oil with oil." And so I was explaining to her what products I was using. I don't know if you have the facial wash, everyday wash there with you as well, and some of the oils that are in there. Yeah, I didn't bring that. I have so many. I brought half of my stuff. I have it. I didn't bring it with me, but it has jojoba oil in it. And so I'm gonna let Sam talk a little bit. And Sam, you have a little bit of lag and breakup. You're telling us such good information. So if it gets too bad, I may have you drop out and come back in, just because I don't want anybody to miss what you're saying.
Okay.
Because it goes in and out. And so you can talk a little bit about fighting oil with oil.
Yes. So this I learned in school. Oil cleansing. So oil cleansing is like a really big thing now. If you look on social media, a lot of people are really starting to get into it. But what oil cleansing basically is, it's really great for oily skin, combination skin, and what it does is it balances the skin. So when you're overproducing oil because you're dry, fighting oil with oil actually helps balance it to where the skin doesn't produce as much oil as usual. So some really great oils for skin is jojoba. Jojoba is a really great oil that I like to use in the treatment room. A lot of people are allergic to nuts and things like of that nature. So jojoba is a really great oil to start with. And then there are some other oils that I also like to use. Apricot oil is a really great oil for skin. Avocado is a really good one. I'm trying to think. There's so many different oils, but oil combating oil is a really big thing now. When I started incorporating it more into my skincare routine, I also noticed that I had less breakouts. So once you find that balance with your skin, it starts to actually work for you.
Now, let me ask you this. This is a great question. So, what I'm thinking of, we're adding oil to fight oil. And certain times of the year, I would think in the winter and the fall, your face will be more oily. In the summertime, when it's humid, especially if you live in a state like Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, you're going to be producing more oils. Is that still a good time to use a product that is more oil based, or is there any point you should switch?
Oil is really great in the summertime because of the even more overproduction of oil. So it's going to cut that in half. Usually, sometimes there are sunscreens that have oils in them that can produce even more oil. So if you do the oil cleansing in the morning and then you apply your products and the sunscreen doesn't allow that overproduction of oil to happen. And at night. Usually, if you're wearing makeup, that helps to melt the makeup away, because sometimes the makeup can get lodged into the hair follicles or the follicles of the skin, which can then produce acne. So breaking it down with the oil cleansing and then going in with your cleanser really helps break down a lot of that makeup that can get lodged into the skin.
Oh, that's good to know. And so we always say everybody take your makeup off every night before you go to bed as just part of routine. But it's good to know that those makeup particles actually get into the skin, and that you can have something that's going to be able to combat that. And so we're having great products. We're going through almost a complete routine, complete regimen, everything that you need, from the wash to the creams to the microdermabrasion. And also I want to get into the toner. Do you have a toner in front of you? I'm going to have you unmute yourself, Desiree. We're trying to stay muted so we don't have feedback, and then we
I'm
always
sorry.
forget. It's okay.
I don't have the toner right in front of me. However, this toner is amazing. So hypochlorous acid is in this toner. Hypochlorous acid is a antibacterial, antitoxin. It works great on the skin to address inflammatory mediators and free radicals. It could also help with inflammation on the skin around the eyes. If you are the person like Dr. Davison who suffers from the sinus portion of ocular allergies or pollen season, you can actually spray that directly up your nose if you wanted to, and it will help address some of those symptoms. But it's great for not only around the eyes, but your entire face. And that's really important to remember about Oculair. Oculair, the initial thought was we need something for patients to use on their face that they can also use safely around their eyes. So even if we have a product like the toner that's really meant for the entire face, if you just want to use it around the eyes, that's okay. And vice versa, with some of our products that are meant just for the skin around the eyes, you can use that all over your face.
That's great. And this is another product I use too as well in my regimen. I love it. I can definitely tell after I wash that this should just help restoring moisture to my face. And then it helps with hyperpigmentation. I've noticed some of those areas, which about acne is like it leaves scarring. And so you keep having these breakouts, and then you want to cover it with concealer and makeup because you have the scarring there. And this is helping to lighten some of that on my face, which is good. And it's important. And I like to say, because I'm a person of color using this, and I haven't had any contraindications, because everything is natural. So as long as it's natural, it doesn't matter really who you are. It's going to work well for your skin type. And then you still want to make sure that you're using this under guidance of an esthetician, oculoplastics, your doctor. Right now, this is dispensed out of eye care professional offices, and I think you can get it online, and we're looking to get it in other offices as well if it's not already there. I'll have you touch base on that a little bit, Desiree. Where can patients get this?
So right now, Oculair is in limited offices because we have done so well with our marketing that we're in a position right now, especially with the virus, that we're waiting on more availability of packaging. So right now it's in select offices. There's probably about 15 to 20 eye care provider offices across the nation that have this, and Dr. Davison is one of them. But we are looking to get this up and running and back really heavily into the market. Probably mid-April, we're thinking we're going to be able to really have a surplus of product and get it out there and make sure that patients can get it anywhere. So if you live in Chicago, we're going to make sure you have a doctor to get it from in Chicago. You can also purchase it direct online at oculairskincare.com, which we will launch once we have the product in stock. Right now, we're sold out, and it's only available in the doctor's office, so we haven't opened the website store just yet, but we will.
Now, do you guys have a wait list for doctors that may be listening who are interested? There's a lot of doctors who are interested in optometry aesthetics, and this is an awesome way to segue into optometry aesthetics. So mostly optometry aesthetics are things that we're doing for our patients that are non-surgical based. And you guys talk about skincare. We talk about UV protection for the eyes. We want to talk about for the skin as well as the skin and tissue around the eye. And so doctors that are listening and they're like, hey, I want to use it for myself, and I want to be able to offer this to my patients. Do you guys have a wait list? How will they get in touch with you?
Yes, so we do have a wait list currently. However, you can reach out to me directly. Dr. Davison, are you able to type in my email in the comments?
Yes.
It's dsaputo@oculairskincare.com. And to get on the wait list, all you have to do is say, hey, put me on the wait list. I'll let you know what number you are on the wait list, and we will reach out to you as soon as we have product available.
So you said dsaputo@oculair.com?
Oculairskincare.com.
And so, yes, get on the wait list. It's an awesome product, and you want to be one of those offices that can offer this to your patients if you're especially thinking about bringing optometry aesthetics into your office. There are a few more things that I do use that I do want to touch on before we segue into giving Sam more time to give us some tips on things that we can do to I think I spelled it right. Let me do it again. Well, I'll fix the email address. Make sure I spelled it correctly. But things that we can do to get ready for spring. We go from 0 to 100 here in Georgia. I'm sure it's the same way in Florida. You guys don't really get cold there to begin with. But we were like freezing and rain, and all of a sudden now it's been 70 and 80. And so we've got to get ready, right? But there's one other thing that I use here, Solaire. This is another serum, right? An eye serum.
So this is Claire, and
Claire
in French means clear, basically.
Clear, okay.
So this is designed specifically for use around the eyes, and it's meant to address discoloration, hyperpigmentation, as well as swelling and inflammation.
So where would that go in the process? I'm sure you wouldn't do this with Lux, or would you? How does this work?
So you can do this with Lux. So if you're going to use this with Lux, you can't, this is a nighttime product. You can see the half moon here.
Okay.
So this is great for nighttime use. And I'm going to just touch on Demodex just really quickly. So there is an oil in this, which is great for the skin, lavender oil, but it also deters Demodex, which is a mite that lives in everyone's pores. It comes out, it likes to crawl around on your eyelids, and it causes some of those dry eye symptoms. So it will deter them away from your lids. So that's why you want to use this at night. They come out at night.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is great. And this is a product I actually use all over my face when I know that my skin is dehydrated and it's overproducing oil because I've cleaned my face so much because I'm tired of the acne. So you can use this all over your skin, but if you choose not to, you can use it around the eyes, and then you can apply Lune, which is the nighttime cream. Typically, when I use them together, I apply Lune where I did not apply the oil. Because if you put lotion on top of the oil, it's just going to kind of move it around a little bit, which is okay if you're okay with that. But I prefer to apply the Lune around the Claire whenever I use them together.
Now, so this is just lavender oil. There's no tea tree oil in this?
So this one is lavender oil, coconut oil, jojoba oil, as well as hyaluronic acid, which is great for bringing the moisture to the surface of the skin and really locking it in. And it also includes bilberry, boswellia, and the aloe leaf blend.
Doctors, if you're listening, you know you've seen some researchers come out that talked about tea tree oil and Meibomian gland dysfunction. So we use tea tree oil a lot to help with Demodex. But then, overuse or extended periods of use, we're seeing now through research that it may cause some issues with the glands that we're trying to protect so much throughout the process, which are important in producing the oils. So this is good to know. So this is part of the skincare regimen. This has different oils that would deter Demodex, but not necessarily the one as potent as tea tree oil over time that can cause some Meibomian gland dysfunction. So this is another reason this is something you want to implement into the office, where you're getting these dual effects, where you're doing the aesthetic things for your patients, but at the same time minimizing ocular surface issues like Meibomian gland dysfunction and some other products, ocular allergies. That's awesome. And then one last thing, I don't think it's the last thing, but it's the last thing that I have, and I use this most nights, but we do have an eye serum. And once again, beautiful packaging. You know what? I think I grabbed the wrong one. This is my liner. I have so much things. Do you have the eye serum with you? You're muted again. So I grabbed my liner.
I'm awful with this. So I don't have the eyeliner container with me because my daughter has inherited it somehow. We'll just say inherit. But what's awesome about it, it looks just like that eyeliner.
Exactly. That's why I grabbed the wrong one.
I love the eyeliner or the lash serum because it's prostaglandin free. So it doesn't have any of those harmful things in it that some of the other eyelash serums out there have that are going to make the skin irritated and create those dry eye symptoms. It also has lavender oil in it. And the way that the applicator works is it's like a paintbrush almost. So you're able to apply it directly to the lid margin. And that also helps deter the Demodex at night.
Yeah, I use that at night as well. And I have noticed less irritation with the trying to get my lashes that longer, fuller appearance. And so it's a process, ladies, men, whoever do it. It's a process. So I tell my patients to look good, you got to put in the time. They didn't build Rome in a day, right? And so it's a process. And so if we have some other things that we're having you do at night or in the morning to also help with a diagnosed ocular surface disease or MGD, you're going to have to start early, okay? You have to get up a little bit early in the morning or start your night routine a little bit earlier. I know if I want to go to bed at 11, I need to get started by 10:30. But then you can make it a process. I call it self-care because when I go in, my staff was actually paying attention to me this summer. I said this past 2020 that I want to do better going forward about self-care. And so one of my Christmas gifts, a staff bought me with some candles, one of those, the lights, the mirror that lights up. And so I go in the bathroom, I close the door, I turn on some music, I light my candle, and I start my whole facial process. And so it equates to self-care, but then I'm doing some anti-aging as well as I'm helping with my ocular surface disease because I tell my patients I have dry eye as well. MGD, suffer for years. And I will say I've noticed less irritation of my eyes since I've been starting the product as well. And so great product. I'm going to put the email address in again so you can reach out to Desiree so you can get on the wait list if you are a provider that wants to be able to offer this to your patients in office or use this for yourself. And then there's going to be a direct to consumer website that's going to launch. We're looking at mid-April. As everybody knows, because of COVID, packaging, shipping, everything is still behind. And we just want you to be able to get the best experience possible with the product. So hold tight. And then those 15 to 20 offices that do have it now available, you guys are lucky. Make sure you're offering it to your patients. It is available at Brain Eyes Vision Center. And so if you want to learn more, definitely ask me about it when you come in for your eye exam, because we have everything that you need cosmetically and skincare wise to make sure that your skin and your eyes are healthy. Before we segue out, we want Samantha to give us some tips on how we can get our face right for spring, right? So we're going to still be in mask. Most of us, not most, maybe a good bit of us will be vaccinated. And so hopefully by the end of the summer, going into the fall, we'll be coming out of these masks a little bit. And, you know, if you got been suffering like me, if you have been preparing yourself, you might not want to come out the mask. Like when my face was breaking out, I was almost like, thank God I have to wear a mask because I would be embarrassed to be in front of a patient with my face looking like this. And so how can we get our faces together so that way when we come out of these masks, we're looking good?
Yes, I am so ready to stop wearing these masks. Just the other week, it actually protected me from like everyone seeing like my face peeling, because I was shedding off all that 20 dead skin that was just I don't know, it was just harboring bad energy. But some really great tips on getting you back skin wise, getting your skin glowing and prepped for the summertime, is start looking into some treatments or some skincare that's geared towards brightening the skin, lightening the skin. If you are someone like me who suffers from hyperpigmentation, I usually go towards products that has niacinamide in it, vitamin C's, green tea, a lot of those great products that really helps with hyperpigmentation, lightening the skin, brightening the skin. Kojic acid is a really great ingredient to help with that. And then just making sure that we are exfoliating the skin, that we are sloughing off some of that dead skin that's just sitting on top of the face. Really great way to get those new skin cells regenerating. Facials every 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, even advanced facials. One of the favorite things that I really like to do in Premier Dry Eye Spa is my advanced enzyme peels. And there I use fruit enzymes, which is packed with a lot of antioxidants that really allows for new skin cells to generate. Okay. And then those I usually like to administer every 4 to 6 weeks, about treatments. And within that treatment, you're definitely going to see a really great improvement on your skin. And then you can incorporate it with some or many of the great products that Des and Dr. Janelle has talked about to really get skin ready for the summertime. And then also incorporating our sunscreen. It's about to get hot and bright outside. So I am a firm believer in using sunscreen. It really has helped my complexion tremendously with the dark spot, protecting the dark spots from getting any darker. I love using it all over my body, and it allows to not sunburn because I do love the sun quite a lot. So it really helps with protecting the skin from any harmful rays, any outside radicals, and things of that nature. So those are just some of the great things that I do for as well, like some great products that has some of those really great ingredients in it to really get you set for summer.
Yes, and start now. Spring is among us. March 21st is the first day of spring, so you need to start getting your face right now. And then before you know it, it will be summer. And so don't forget to schedule your appointments for your organic facials. And then you have to get into a sequence. And so since I have Sam here, once you start, how far out should it be before you have the next facial? Because it feels so good, and I know I'm not supposed to come every week. So what should my sequence be? Oh, I wonder if we finally lost Sam. You're muted, Sam. There we go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. But 3 to 4 weeks, you don't have to push them out. It just really depends on how fast you want the results. I'm usually a stickler for 4 weeks is like, okay, I need to go back in, but it just really depends on how advanced the treatment is. If you come in for one of the organic facials, you can come back as soon as 3 weeks. Some of the advanced facials, I like to push those out 4 to 5 to 6 weeks, and do like sequences or series on those to get an even better result. I also even like to incorporate different exfoliating services. So the microdermabrasion with an enzyme peel or enzyme peel with dermaplaning. Those are really services to allow the skin to resurface and regenerate very rather quickly. So those are some really great things that I do in Premier. But the sooner the better, really.
Cool. And so you can visit Brina'sVisionCenter.com, and you'll be able to follow the links to create an appointment, or you can go directly to our spa scheduling site. Sam, that's www.premierdryeyespa.com to be able to schedule an appointment there. And so I'm gonna do the prize wheel. A few people have put their numbers in. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna share my screen so we can go to the prize wheel, and we're gonna see what you're able to win today. So to get a prize, you have to put your number in. Let's see. Can you guys see my screen loading there? You see that prize wheel? Can you guys take yourself off mute and let me know? Because I can't see you, but I see the wheel. Did we see the wheel?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And so to get a prize, you have to put a number in 1 through 20, and you're going to be able to win a prize. So let's see if anybody wins anything today. And so if you are number, let's see here, if you put in number 10, you got an extra percent on a Premier Aesthetics service. So I'll look in the comments and see if anybody put in number 10. I know I saw number 15 in there. I don't think anybody was lucky enough to win anything today. Last Thursday, Dr. Blue actually won some lid wipes. And so yeah, so that's a great. I don't want to forget. We want to start somewhere, but you got to be consistent and don't give up until you see results. Okay, that's important. Desiree wanted me to remind you guys of that. So in most things, you have to be consistent. I would say give it at least 6 to 8 weeks. Most things are cycling through. You need to at least give it 30 days and sometimes 60 days. That's in any treatment program. Same with the treatment program for dry eye. How patients come in, they start a drop on Monday. By Thursday, they're mad because their eyes are not feeling better. And I'm like, well, you've been suffering for 2 years. You think we're going to fix 2 years in 3 days? So you have to be consistent, you know. You have to be consistent. You have to put in the time, just like when you're working out. I like to think of it as a 30, 60, 90 program. When you start the gym in January, you don't really anticipate dramatic results until almost sometimes the end of first quarter. And that puts you in a 30, 60, 90 program. So that's with anything, with your dry eye, with your facials, with your skincare. Give yourself a 30, 60, 90 way you're thinking about things. So therefore, you won't be disappointed. And then usually at the 90-day mark, we had enough time to use that treatment regimen to see that maybe we may need to divert our plan or move here, take away this or add that. But you're just not going to give yourself enough time if you're just using it for a few weeks. Okay. And another thing to remember, it costs to look good, you know. So patients always say, well, how much does this cost or how much does that cost? One, the packaging is beautiful. Two, the products are natural. And so anytime things that are natural, you can expect that there's going to be a cost involved. And so, but the cost is definitely worth it. It's no more than what you would pay for, you know, your designer handbags, your designer glasses. So I say if you have these designer bags and designer glasses, you just want to make sure that your skin and your eyes and the skin and tissue around the eyes are matching all those designers that you're carrying on your arm or wearing on your feet. You want everything to match that. And so, you know, it's not super crazy expensive, but at the same time, price accordingly for anything that's going to be a natural based product. I do want to thank my two guests for being here with us today. As usual, this will be available on my YouTube page. Also be recorded and hosted here on Facebook as well, so that you can go back and watch it at your leisure. But today with Iceball Talk, where I am beauty, we're talking with two industry leaders, licensed esthetician Sam and the Chief Operating Officer Desiree from Oculaire, talking about anti-aging, talking about how to get your skin right and ready for spring, as well as talking about why all that is important if you suffer from ocular surface disease, Meibomian gland dysfunction, and ocular allergies. So thank you for joining us today and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope you have a great week to come.